Welcome back, folks. Today I want to share some new info about the upcoming new lenses that will be announced at the CP+ show that we kick off end of February, around February 26. And we are getting a ton of lenses, and today I have some info about Sigma+Tamron Samyang lenses, including a pretty unique 20 to 50mm 2.0 full frame autofocus E-mount lens prototype. Very early prototype that will be displayed by Samyang. So that's quite curious that they're going this route, but I will talk more about this lens soon, and also share some more details about Sigma and Tamron. Before we kick off, the usual reminder: first of all, like this video to help my YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button to not miss of the upcoming rumors. Let's kick off with Sigma. Sigma has confirmed they will have a product announcement event on February 26, so we will definitely get new lenses. Now I'm narrowing down what's likely to be announced by Sigma. I got some additional info, so I'm going to read what I got from a trusted source. He says, first of all, the new Sigma 35mm 1.4 second generation will be announced, so for the E and L-mount system. That should be the first lens we're getting. This update will probably bring a lens that is optically superior to the predecessor and a tiny bit more compact. For a classic 35mm 1.4 lens lover, this is great news because it will be an excellent lens. We will also get the 50mm 1.4 APS-C autofocus lens. The source didn't mention the different mounts that will be available, just guessing there will be for sure the Sony E-mount, the Leica L-mount, obviously, maybe Fujifilm X-mount, and maybe also RF mount. This lens will be the successor of the currently available 60mm 1.4 APS-C lens. I'm still not 100% certain if the 85mm 1.2 is coming. It's a full frame lens for the Leica L-mount for sure. Still not sure if it's Sony E-mount. A source still said that he got info about this lens, but I still am awaiting confirmation that it will be announced at the CP+ show, or if not, if it will be announced later, and if it's coming for both L and E-mount. So there's still some work in progress on this rumor. If you have some info about this lens or any other lens and camera that will be announced very soon, you can contact me using this email address and contact form. Some news source also told me about a new APS-C zoom lens, but this is a bit wilder, so I'm still working on it. Yeah, I don't know. But before we move on to the Samyang 20 to 50mm lens, another source that is close to Tamron told me that also Tamron will have an announcement of one lens, and he knows the specs but didn't want to share them to me, and he only said it's a very useful lens, so lens for the masses. So I'm just guessing it will be another zoom lens. But this is my guess, but there will be at least one new Tamron lens at the CP+ show. Tamron released a fiscal statement the past week, and they say they will announce 10 lenses this year. But keep in mind, when they say 10 lenses, they don't mean 10 brand new lenses, but they also, every different mount version is counted as a separate lens, so probably new lenses will be 4 or 5, and then they will be available for the Nikon Z, Sony E, and so forth, other mounts, Fujifilm. But just saying that Tamron has big plans for 2026. Now, moving on to Samyang. As you know, Samyang made a partnership with Schneider, so they're releasing some fast full frame lenses, particularly for the Sony E-mount system. The first new is for the L-mount shooters out there, because the 14 to 24mm 2.8 zoom lens that is available now for the Sony E-mount system will be made available for the L-mount system at the CP+ show, so you can pre-order it. We already saw this lens displayed a couple of months ago, so this is not a big news. The 24 to 60mm 2.8 L-mount is likely to arrive a couple of months later, so for L-mount shooter this is a good news. For E-mount shooters, we are getting the 60 to 180mm 2.8 full-frame E-mount autofocus lens. This lens has been displayed back in September in Amsterdam at the IBC show. This lens is coming for the Sony E-mount system. A tiny bit later, we are getting the 28 to 135mm 2.8 full-frame E-mount. I guess that all those E-mount lenses will be later available for the L-mount too, so the 60 to 180 and then the 28 to 135. But the big news is that Samyang wants somehow to shock the CP+ show by displaying some very radical, shocking prototypes. So the source that is very close to Samyang, and he has been reliable in the past, told me that they want to show some truly unique focal lengths, so lenses that nobody else has done before. And it doesn't mean that all those prototypes will make it into final production. The idea is to gather response from the audience and see which lens is more requested, and then eventually they would do some of those lenses. And one of those early prototypes will be a 20 to 50 millimeter 2.0 full frame autofocus E-mount lens. So a lens we have never seen before. I just imagine this will be quite a big lens. The only comparison we can make is with the Sony 28 to 70 millimeter 2.0 GM. So this would be 8 millimeter wider and 20 millimeter shorter, but I just suspect the Samyang would be much bigger, because the wider you get, the really much bigger the lens gets compared to the tail end. So this will be quite a big lens, but I think it's also very useful because many love to have that wide angle option, and I think many would also trade off the 70 millimeter to get a 50 millimeter, but that has 20 millimeter at the wide end. That's just my feeling, but of course we have to see first of all how big this lens is, if it's affordable, not too big, not too heavy, not crazy heavy. This might be a nice lens to have in the E-mount system, but let me know in the comment system if you would consider to get such a lens, such a 20 to 50 millimeter 2.0 from Samyang. Pretty unique, but there will be more of such prototypes, and the source stressed that those are very early mock-ups, so not really working options. And so even if Samyang would get a great response on some of those lenses, it would still take 1-2 years to see them on the market. So just so you know, okay? Now, curiosity, back in 2021, Tamron did actually patent a 20 to 50 millimeter 2.0 lens, but they never made it. So Tamron was the first to think about this kind of lens. They also patented other 2.0 zooms, but they never released such zooms. I hope that among the 10 new Tamron lenses we're getting this year, there will be some more exciting fast zooms that will be nice. But seems like at the CP+ show we are at least going to see a prototype version of those kind of very extreme zoom lenses. And like I told you before, Sony will likely have a product announcement event around February 25, so a day before Sigma, and announce new lenses. I told you many times what to expect: the 100-400 GM NG and the 16-28 2.0 GM. So we are getting a 2.0 wide angle zoom, which is also very interesting to see. Okay. This was more or less what I got in the past 48 hours. Again, if you have some info about any of the upcoming announcements, you can contact me here and using this email address and contact box. I will keep you up to date as soon as I get some confirmation, particularly about the Sigma lenses, if indeed the 85 1.2 L-mount and possibly E-mount is coming or not. But expect this channel to be very busy in the next days, because there will be other announcements also from other manufacturers, probably Panasonic, Nikon, Canon, and so forth. So quite some exciting time for the next week, okay? Again, I invite you to like this video to help me in the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and I see you very soon.